An obsolete hard disk that was disassembled in a transparent light cover, spinning quickly, making a slightly harsh sound, and beside the hard disk, there was a somewhat thin boy. At this moment, the boy's eyes staring fiercely at the white screen, there was a trace of tension in his expression. Success. When folders were displayed on the white screen, the boy clenched his fists in excitement. Fortunately, things that are almost 1,000 years old are still usable. Wu Xing sat on the chair with an uncontrollable smile on his face. Excited, Wu Xing moved his self-made mouse, clicked on one of the documents with learning materials, looked at the content inside, and felt a cordial feeling rushing over his face. Although the content has been over 1,000 years, but for Wu Xing, it was only a few months later. Because Wuxing came from 2019 1,000 years ago. As for how the Wuxing came, I don't know how he came. He just woke up 1,000 years later, and became a 16-year-old boy. In the past millennium, the world has undergone tremendous changes. A huge magic net has enveloped the world, bringing the world from the original technological age to the age of magic. Turning off the learning materials playing on the screen, Wu Xing took out a spar-like thing and prepared to import the data from the hard disk, because this hard disk seemed to be unable to last long. And this spar in Wu Xing's hand is a magical memory spar. The effect is similar to that of a hard disk, but the former is a product of technological civilization, and the latter is a product of magical civilization. After some operations, the data in the hard disk began to slowly import the memory crystal. Although this slow speed is maddening, Wu Xing is already very satisfied. After all, the hard disk data of scientific and technological civilization is imported into the memory crystal of magic civilization. It's not an easy task. Fortunately, Wu Xing's previous life's level of programming and data recovery is not weak, so that data can be migrated across the two civilization systems. As the data on the hard disk was slowly exported, Wu Xing felt exhausted. This was not because of the energy loss caused by reading those learning materials, but the body was originally weak and sickly. According to the memory Wu Xing obtained, it seemed that the original owner was in him. When the mother was pregnant with him, she received an unknown attack that caused the original owner to be born with inadequacy. Take a break. Stretched, Wu Xing left the messy room. Drink. Drink. Walking out of the room, after Wu Xing walked not long, he heard a shout from the next door. Hearing this, Wu Xing skillfully picked up the ladder on the side and climbed up the wall. When the Wuxing's head crossed the wall, he was greeted by a wide square where more than 100 men and women wearing uniform costumes were constantly punching and kicking. On the gate at the back of the square, a huge sign hangs on it. The Whirlwind Martial Arts Hall. Hey! This is not the age of magic, what is going on in this martial arts hall? Before, Wu Xing also had this doubt, but after some understanding, Wu Xing understood that the people in front of him who punched and kicked in the martial arts gym were actually a kind of mages, but their talent was the body. Strengthen the department. While the magic net covers the world, the magic net also gives everyone a talent. There are many types of talents, including strengthening, elemental, summoning, healing auxiliary, curse, transformation, and special, etc. The strengthening system occupies the vast majority. In addition to the orthodox and powerful strengthening talents such as strength strengthening, physical strengthening, and speed strengthening, there are also non-mainstream strengthening abilities such as digestion strengthening and breathing ability strengthening. In principle, no matter what kind of natural ability, as long as the level of enhancement is high enough, it will not be weak. However, most people have a low level of enhancement. Taking strength enhancement as an example, most people who have awakened this talent are about 5% 10% stronger than ordinary people. This degree of reinforcement is not much different from ordinary people. Only reaching the level of enhancement of more than 50% of ordinary people, this can be regarded as the most basic condition for becoming a mage apprentice. Of course, if it is the talents of other types such as the elemental system and the summoning system, this condition can be relaxed a bit. After all, these talents are originally rare talents. Thinking of talent, Wu Xing couldn't help sighing. A martial star who is inherently damaged does not have magic power in his body. Naturally, it is impossible for magic talent to appear. In an era of magic, there is no magic power, which is almost a waste. Of course, for the martial artist who originally came from the age of technology, there is no feeling of despair or sadness without magic. It is just a pity that I finally came to an age of magic, but there is no magic, and I can't explore magic. Mystery. But this does not prevent Wu Xing from being curious about this extraordinary power. Therefore, as long as he hears the students next door starting to practice in the square, Wu Xing will climb the fence to watch. In this regard, the people at the Tornado Martial Arts Hall did not intend to stop him. Because the square outside is only used for warm-ups, the real martial arts masters are all guided and practiced in the martial arts gym. Beep beep beep. When Wu Xing sighed the students' powerful moves, suddenly a voice sounded. Immediately, Wu Xing took out a mobile phone-sized card, and then tapped the card with the ring on his hand. Suddenly, a message appeared. Emerge. Because there is no magic power, Wu Xing cannot use all kinds of magic props. Therefore, it is necessary to use the magic ring to provide magic power, and the magic ring is used by people in this world for children who have not yet awakened magic talent. Little Xing Xing, sister is going on a mission today, so she won't be back. Well, pay attention to safety. And don't call me Little Xing Xing. Looking at the message on the card, Wu Xing Chong sighed and replied. There is another relative of martial artist in this world, and that is his sister, Wu Yu. Compared to martial stars who have no magic talent, Wu Yu can be regarded as a genius in their city. The wind element affinity talent, even if the affinity is not particularly high, but this element affinity talent is originally a rare talent. With this rare talent, Wu Yu naturally easily entered the best magic academy in the city. After awakening the magic talent in this world, people have 3 channels for further training. Among them, the Martial Arts Hall or the Magic Hall is one of them. And this is the lowest requirement among the 3 channels, except for some well-known big martial arts halls or magic halls. Basically you can enter as long as you pay. This is also the choice of most people who are unwilling to become ordinary people. Outside the Martial Arts Hall and the Magic Hall, a more advanced choice is the academy opened by the Magic Union. Compared with the folk training places like the Martial Arts Hall, the academy has a higher foundation and more resources. However, you need to enter the academy. Talent. Martial Arts Hall and Academy already cover 99.9% of people, and only less than 0.1% of people are eligible to enter the 3rd channel for further education. This is the sect hidden in all kinds of heaven and blessings. Of course, it can also be called XX Palace, XX Church, which means it anyway. Those who can be recruited by these forces are absolutely unique geniuses. A genius like Wu Yu can't even enter the eyes of those sects. While chatting with Wu Yu, the martial arts hall next door also ended the warm-up, and the students outside began to enter the martial arts hall to practice. Seeing this, Wu Xing also climbed down the ladder and came to the hall a few steps away. In the lobby, there is also a signboard hanging. Xingye Wuguan. That's right, Wu Xing's family also opened a martial arts hall, and the name of the martial arts hall is the creator of the martial arts hall. The father of the 2 people named them after the names of the 2 brothers and sisters. However, since the death of their mother, he, who was his father, suddenly disappeared, leading to the complete decline of the martial arts hall. Even the original large martial arts site was leased to the Whirlwind Martial Arts Hall, which is the martial arts hall next door. Brother Wu Xing, sister Xiao Yu are back. A crisp voice came from outside, and then, a cute little loli probed his head. The little loli is a child from the next door, named Lu Lei, because her parents are very busy at work and the little loli who is not being looked after is here. wandering nearby, finally, came here. At that time, Wu Yu was cultivating, and Xiao Lori was immediately attracted by the handsome Wu Yu and became Wu Yu's little fan. At the same time, this little loli is also the only student in Xingyu Martial Arts Hall. No, Sister Xiaoyu has a mission and won't be back today. Wu Xing shook his head. Knowing that Wu Yu was not coming back today, little Lori walked away with a look of disappointment. It was obvious that little Lori was not interested in martial stars. I don't know how the data extraction is going. Wu Xing took a few bites of bread. After feeling the mental exhaustion eased, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com continued to return to the room. I only extracted half of the data. Wu Xing checked the memory crystal, there was only about 500 G of content, and the hard disk that was almost full was 1 T, which means that half of the files on this hard disk were incomplete. After finally getting a hard disk that can be successfully read, Wu Xing will naturally not discard these damaged files, and plan to look for those damaged files to see if we can find something that can be used. After all, these are all its money. According to what Wu Xing has learned, he is the only one who will recover the data so far. After all, people in this world don't understand the things of the technological age at all, even if they find hard drives and other technological products from a certain ruin, I don't know how to extract the data from the hard disk at all. The ancient things are very popular things. Therefore, the things in this hard drive can be sold for money. Although these small movies may not be sold at particularly high prices, Wu Xing thinks there will be someone interested in ancient small movies. If this hard disk is a hard disk of a scientific research institution, it is valuable. Wu Xing moved his homemade mouse and clicked on a damaged folder. DNF. The folder opened, Wu Xing's eyes lit up, because he was also playing the game Dungeons & Warriors. Before he came to this world, Wu Xing had just bought a few holiday packages. Wow, the file damage is serious. Opening the game file, Wu Xing shook his head. Compared with video and audio files, game files with a large number of small files are indeed the most vulnerable to damage. I hope I can leave something. Wu Xing said while moving the mouse. New book upload, I hope you can support me. After some screening, Wu Xing sorted out some relatively complete information from the game files of Dungeons & Warriors, the most complete of which is the practice part of the dojo in the game, which is the game for players to practice skills and test damage place. After sorting out this part of the training dojo, Wu Xing relied on his programming ability to repackage these materials, and then successfully ran it. Looking at the familiar dojo displayed on the screen, Wu Xing felt that he could play the game he was most familiar with in 1,000 years. Even if this is just a practice dojo in the entire game, it is enough to make people satisfied. There is no character information. There is a training dojo, and various options are available, but the only lack of information about game characters, there is no game role. This training dojo is just a dojo that can be seen and not played. Thinking of this, Wu Xing immediately looked for the game characters information in the game files, and soon Wu Xing found the character-related content in a bunch of messy files. Ghost swordsman, fighter, sharpshooter, magician, clergyman, the characters in the game were found out by the martial artist one by one. However, many of the character materials are incomplete, and only the ghost swordsman, fighter, and magician are complete. Because Wu Xing himself played as a fighter, so he didn't hesitate to choose the materials of fighters and prepared to import these materials into the practice dojo. As for ghost swordsman, magician, and even other crippled occupational materials, Wu Xing will import all of them. However, because he mainly plays the combatant profession, priority is given to ensuring that the information for the combatant profession is imported. As the martial artist imported the information of the fighter, male, occupation into the training dojo, the high-speed rotating hard disk made a harsh sound, and it was obvious that this hard disk could not last long. Time waits for no one. Wu Xing hastily imported the professional information of the fighter, female, into it. Click. As the fighter, female's information was imported, a strange noise suddenly rang, and the hard disk in the magic mask began to vibrate violently. Not good. Seeing this, Wu Xing was shocked that he had not imported these data into the memory crystal. If the hard disk exploded, then all the game data he had compiled would be gone. Without hesitation, Wu Xing hurriedly opened the magic shield, preparing for emergency treatment. Boom! As soon as the magic shield was opened, the high-speed spinning disc exploded, and a sharp fragment shot into Wu Xing's eyes like lightning. What? There was almost no reaction time, the disc fragments directly pierced Wu Xing's eyes, and the intense pain caused Wu Xing to let out a scream. Hoo, let me go, these eyes won't be blinded anymore. Wu Xing, who squatted on the ground with his eyes closed, felt that the pain in his eyes was diminishing, but his heart was still very nervous. After hesitating for a moment, Wu Xing slowly opened his eyes. Apart from the slight pain in his eyes, it seemed that his vision was normal. Hey? Where is this place? While Wu Xing opened his eyes and was glad that he was not blind, Wu Xing was shocked to find that he had come to a dojo, but he was in his room just now. Besides, this dojo does not belong to one's own home. Wind Fist. When Wu Xing glanced at the sign hanging in the dojo, he swallowed subconsciously. He was naturally very familiar with these three characters Wu Xing, because he had seen it on the screen just now. It was in the game. Signboard hanging on the practice dojo. I am here in the training dojo. After repeated confirmation, Wu Xing has been certain that the dojo he is currently in is the training dojo in the game, and the reason why Wu Xing is so determined is to a large extent. At this moment, two light curtains appeared in front of Wu Xing's eyes. These two light curtains, one is the skill list of male and female fighters imported by Wu Xing, and the other is the menu options of the practice dojo. These are exactly the same as in the game. Do you want to practice front kick skills? When Wu Xing reached out to point to the top skill icon on the male fighting skill list, a dialog box popped up immediately. This can also practice skills in the game. Looking at the pop-up dialog box, Wu Xing was shocked. Okay. Without hesitation, Wu Xing hurriedly clicked to confirm. If this is really able to cultivate the skills in the game, then it would be nothing if there is no magic talent. As Wu Xing clicked on the OK button, a memory immediately poured into his mind. This memory was exactly about the practice of forward-kicking skills. There is a cultivation method, but this does not mean that Wu Xing has already mastered this skill. He still needs to practice constantly to fully understand this trick. However, before that, Wu Xing turned his attention to the skill chart of female combat, because there was also a forward kick skill on it. Click the same dialog box as before, which means that although this skill is divided into male and female fighters, if you want to practice, you don't have to be divided into male and female fighters. Martial artists can also practice female fighting skills. It's just that, after the female fighter's front kick skill training method became familiar to Wu Xing, reading www.yuyuganshu.com, Wu Xing understood why the skills are divided into men and women. Although the same is the forward kick skill, the skills between men and women are better. There are still many differences in various aspects. Female fighting skills are more suitable for women's bodies and can better exert their power. While men practice women's fighting skills, although it is possible, it will be a little unsuitable, and the power of the skills will not be able to be fully utilized. After understanding the difference, Wu Xing's choices are also very clear. Since they are all front kicks, then Wu Xing naturally chooses the front kick of male combat. However, there is also an uppercut in female combat, which is male combat. No, this martial artist can really cultivate, although the effect is almost the same, but it has one more skill and one more means. As for the rows of skill icons below the skill table, Wu Xing has not considered it for the time being. Although, except for a small part of these skill icons, they are grayed out, and the others seem to be on, which means that all Wu Xing can choose, but the fool also knows. The more powerful the skills are, the more demanding the training conditions. Therefore, Wu Xing feels that he has mastered the front kick, uppercut, and another back kick skill. After all, he doesn't know much about this training dojo. If you rush to use those advanced skills, no one knows. Will some accidents happen? Drink. Drink. Wu Xing was in the training dojo alone, constantly punching and kicking according to the practice method in memory, practicing the 3 skills of front kick, back kick and uppercut. It's just that when a person is practicing in the empty dojo, he always feels that something is missing. By the way, it's an opponent, there is no opponent. Immediately, Wu Xing opened the monster menu of the dojo. Would you like to have a blasting Dragon King Baker to try? Looking at the list on the monster menu on the practice dojo, Wu Xing was eager to try. As he said, Wu Xing's finger pointed at the name of the Dragon King Baker. Suddenly, a huge shadow appeared in the training dojo, and then a fierce dragon descended on the training dojo. Roar! The giant dragon descended. Before Wu Xing could see the whole picture of the other party, a horrible aura swept across instantly, and Wu Xing was directly annihilated. What? The sweaty Wu Xing stood up fiercely, looked around quickly, and found that he had returned to a familiar room. Suddenly Wu Xing could not help but let out a long sigh of relief. This is actually a real baker. I thought it was a baker. Look like a target, look for one of the apostles, King Baker, to be the training partner. I'm looking for death. Hey? It seems that the whole person feels a lot easier. Although it was directly killed by Cabal's Longwei, it seemed that he died in the training dojo, and it would not affect the martial arts. On the contrary, it was the situation that the soul was always oppressed by something. After this Longwei impact, it was relieved. Let Wu Xing feel that the whole person is a lot easier. This discovery surprised Wu Xing. If he came a few more times, wouldn't he be able to get rid of the things weighing on his soul? Wu Xing's current problems are twofold, one is his body's weakness, and the other is his soul is damaged. However, after Wu Xing's soul passed through, there was no shortage of his soul. It's just that there was an unknown force in Wu Xing's conscious world that was oppressing his soul, making Wu Xing unable to cultivate at all. Can't sense magic. If the things that are oppressing Wu Xing's soul are eliminated, then the problem of Wu Xing's physical weakness will be better solved. After all, this is a world of magic, and naturally there will be no shortage of magic potions for improving physical fitness. Found a way to solve the oppression of the soul, which made Wu Xing very happy. Immediately, Wu Xing lay down quickly and silently entered the practice dojo. Following a strange fluctuation, Wu Xing opened his eyes and saw that he had arrived at the practice dojo. Successfully entered the training dojo again, which means that this training dojo is not just a mirror image, but a real one. Quickly clicked on the menu of the practice dojo, Wu Xing pulled directly to the name of the explosive Dragon King Baker, but at the moment, the name of the explosive Dragon King Baker was grey, and there was no response to clicking it. Not only the explosive Dragon King Baker, but also on the side. The name of Ozma of Chaos is also grey. Can't it only be summoned once? Seeing this, Wu Xing felt a little regretful in his heart. If this could only be summoned once, then he would suffer a lot. Of course, it may take some time before you can continue to summon opponents of the Blast Dragon King level, because the list of monsters in the training dojo is not all grey that cannot be summoned. For example, the sandbag in the list is in the highlighted state. Click the sandbag. Suddenly, a sandbag that was tall for one person appeared. Wu Xing stretched out his hand and touched it. It felt great, not soft or hard. Moreover, there was a health bar on the sandbag, with a 5-digit number behind the health bar. Boom! After carefully inspecting the sandbag, Wu Xing suddenly lifted his leg and kicked it out. Suddenly, the health bar was missing a small square. Kick forward. Seeing this, Wu Xing took a step back slightly, and then violently raised his leg and kicked it forward. It was also a kick forward, but this time the attack of the Wuxing contained a special charm. Boom! Accompanied by a muffled sound, the sandbag shook for a while, and then the health bar dropped by more than half of the square. The normal kick just now uses the same power as the front kick martial artist, but the damage caused by this is obviously very significant. The big gap, this is the increase of skill to strength. And, as the martial artist's in-depth understanding of the front kick skills, the degree of this increase is still increasing. Kick forward. Kick back. Upper punch. With sandbags that can accurately test the damage target, Wuxing is also very interested in practicing. I don't know if it is too excited or for other reasons. Wuxing discovered that he has used the skills nearly 100 times in a row. Actually, I didn't feel much fatigue. I went, it's been so long. When Wuxing used the 3 skills for the 100th time, he was shocked and hurriedly withdrew from the practice dojo. However, what surprised Wuxing was that the time outside seemed to have not been long. Could it be that the time of this training dojo is different from the outside? Although it is impossible to calculate how much time I spent in the training dojo, this time is definitely much longer than that of being outside at the moment. Kick forward. Walking out of the room, Wuxing subconsciously unfolded the skills he had mastered in the training dojo. However, as soon as Wuxing kicked his legs out, he felt like his thighs were torn apart. Hiss! The front kick skill was interrupted by Wuxing midway. After that, Wuxing clutched his leg and turned back to the room, because he felt that there was still a lot of things to explore in this practice dojo. I see. After going in and out of the training dojo a few times, Wuxing also roughly learned some information about this dojo. UU reading www.uucananshu.com. First of all, the time in the training dojo is indeed different from the elapsed outside. This allows the martial artist to get more training time. Secondly, it does not consume physical strength to practice in the training dojo, because the martial artist enters the dojo instead of the real body. This also led to Wuxing's training in the training dojo, which would not have the effect of exercising and increasing strength. Just now, Wuxing kicked before performing and caused tearing pain in his thighs. This is the reason. There are good and bad things in this situation. The advantage is naturally that you can practice unlimitedly, and quickly learn a skill, but the disadvantage is that the body cannot be exercised, and additional exercise is required. After roughly grasping some of the conditions in this practice dojo, this is already the next day, because the thigh muscles are damaged, so Wuxing wandered in the room for a day. Wuxing, who was awakened by hunger the next day, rubbed his aching thighs and was about to get something to eat. When he left the room, Wuxing heard the familiar screams next door, hesitated to go to Wuxing or pick up the wall. The ladder on the side climbed to the top of the wall. Is still the familiar scene of punching and kicking, but yesterday Wuxing thought that the martial arts students were very powerful in every move, but today Wuxing suddenly discovered that these students' moves are full of loopholes. I only watched Martial Star for a while and couldn't stand it anymore, so he left. After all, this belly has been urging Martial Star to eat as soon as possible. And Wuxing's reaction clearly came from the training dojo. The Wuxing who has mastered the 3 skills of front kick, back kick and uppercut has completely separated from Xiao Bai's ranks. Naturally, his vision is not the same. And language. At the same time, with contrast Martial Star, he also felt that the skills he acquired in the practice dojo were not simple. Don't forget to collect it after reading it, it is recommended. Drink. Drink. Wuxing was in the lobby of his martial arts hall alone, spreading out the 3 skills he mastered in the practice dojo one by one. However, just after the 3 skills were passed, the Wuxing was tired and sweating. After all, this is not the place. The practice dojo has unlimited physical strength and strength. It seems that this body strength needs to be raised as soon as possible. Wuxing gasped and said secretly. The training of skills has a training dojo. Therefore, Wu Yuxing now only needs to improve his physical fitness to quickly gain combat effectiveness. Only with strength can we survive better in this world. After all, this world is not safe. The magic net covered the world 1,000 years ago, allowing humans to obtain extraordinary magic power, but the same other creatures also gained it at the same time. After losing its magic power, it became a beast full of danger. Although most of the monsters are blocked out of the city, some will still sneak into the city and destroy it. Therefore, it is very necessary to have some self-preservation. There are only two ways to improve strength. One is to rely on one's own exercise. This method is simple and cheap. The disadvantage is that it takes too long. Moreover, if you are born with insufficient conditions like Wu Yuxing, it will be more difficult to exercise on your own. Big. Therefore, there is only another choice left to Wu Xing, relying on external forces. Use magic potions that strengthen physical strength, or magic items that increase strength to quickly increase your strength. Of course, neither magic potions nor props are bargains. Obviously they can't afford it with Wu Yuxing's previous family property, but it's hard to tell now. 500G of ancient materials is for those masters who like to study ancient knowledge, but full of attraction. Although these materials of Wu Xing are much worse than those of the paintings and calligraphy of the more ancient era, this is better than the amount and completeness. Moreover, data recovery is definitely Wu Xing's unique skill. Therefore, these materials are scarce. Sex is definitely not weak. Take a little bit to explore the way first. Since he planned to sell the ancient materials in his hand, Wu Xing did not hesitate to take out the magic card and activate it with the magic ring in his hand. After that, he sent a piece of music in the memory crystal to the second-hand trading platform, and there was not much to worry about causing unnecessary accidents. Although this is the age of magic, the information here is not blocked at all. Alternatives can be found here for mobile phones, TVs and even the internet in the age of technology. Come to communicate. The ubiquitous external network is the network connecting all kinds of magic cards. Speaking of this external network, it is definitely an amazing invention. It was created by several bigwigs hundreds of years ago based on the magic network. A network attached to the magic net came out. With the help of the ubiquitous magic net, this extranet can transmit information to any place covered by the magic net, which is absolutely no blind spot coverage in the true sense. Beep. Wu Xing just sent the information to the trading platform, and immediately there was news that a person with the internet ID Bibahi sent Wu Xing a consultation. Is this really ancient stuff? Is there a full version of the music? I want to try it. Wu Xing posted only a short piece of music, and it was obvious that this short piece caught the others' attention. The stuff is definitely ancient, and the full version is also available. However, a complete online audition is not currently available. Wu Xing refused to the other party's request for an audition. When the reputation of the other party cannot be determined, Wu Xing obviously will not did this. Well, I want this song. Wu Xing's refusal didn't make the other party back down. Instead, he chose the transaction. Immediately, 50,000 yuan arrived in the account. After receiving the money, Wu Xing hurriedly posted the thing, 50,000 yuan a song. The price is not it's a sky-high price, but it's not cheap. When the martial artist set his price, he referred to the price of songs composed by the bards of this era. The price of 50,000 yuan is an average price. It seems that the price is slightly lower at the moment, because Wu Xing has forgotten the attribute of this song from ancient times. However, the first sale was regarded as an opening promotion. With money, Wu Xing can start his plan to strengthen his body, because the cheapest magic potion for strengthening the body will definitely not exceed 50,000 yuan. Brother Wu Yuxing, sister Xiaoyu, are you back? Kicked the magic card into his pocket, Wu Xing was about to go out to buy magic potions. At this time, Lori Lulei's little head came out from the door. Nope. Wu Xing shook his head. Wu Yu has now entered the final graduation season. During this time, graduates will start to do their best to earn credits, otherwise they will not be able to graduate if they don't have enough credits. Oh! Knowing that Wu Yu hadn't returned yet, little Lori looked disappointed and was about to leave. Seeing this, Wu Xing thought for a while and said, "How about brothers Iaolii to teach you how to practice?" "How did Lori say Xing Yu?" The only student in the martial arts hall, Wu Xing, as the deputy curator, is also obliged to give instructions to the students. Of course, the main reason is that Wu Xing wants to try, to see if the skills learned in the practice dojo can be taught to others. "No, brother Wu Xing, you can't even beat others." Yu reading www.yuyugonshu.com. Little Lolita shook her head. Don't look at this little Lolita's young age, but after a few months of training with Wu Yu, she can still be considered as a little combative, and there is no problem with dealing with martial arts who are inherently weak and don't have the talent for magic. Ahem. Little Lori's words made Wu Xing almost fail to come up. In order to regain her position in little Lori's heart, Wu Xing took out the memory crystal and found a cartoon from it and sent it to the magical image in the hall. Sure enough, the novelty ancient cartoons are very attractive to little Lolita. "Xiaolei, brother is going out for a trip, so go home soon." Seeing little Lolita staring at the animation played on the magical video Magic Girl Sakura, Wu Xing showed a smile at the corner of his mouth. What? Lu Lei felt anxious when she heard Wu Xing want to drive her away. "Well, brother Wu Xing, I'll help you watch the house." In order to finish watching the novelty in the magical video, little Lolita hurriedly said. "Oh well." Amused little Lolita for a while, and after repaying her revenge, Wu Xing left. Coming to the bustling commercial street, except that the shop selling electrical appliances and other technological products has become a shop selling magic items, everything else is very different from the commercial street of Wu Xing's era. It is said that the construction of this commercial street was built with reference to some drawings excavated from ancient ruins. It is considered a highlight of the city where Wu Xing is located. Although these features are not special at all in Wu Xing's eyes, they are not special at all in Wu Xing's eyes. For people, this commercial street is definitely antique. Wu Xing, who was not interested in this quaint commercial street, simply identified the location and walked quickly towards the shop selling magic potions. At the same time, in the sewer tens of meters below Wu Xing, a THRE Epperson team is constantly advancing. "I said riches and honors, what do you have to do? Is this kind of place where people stay?" A young man in a red mage apprentice robe complained to the short young man who was wearing a headset-like thing next to him. "Come on, it would be nice for Jiaming Liang to have a task. If this is the case before, I would be thankful if I can grab the task during the graduation season." The short young man named Rich also covered his nose, screaming in air. "Don't make any noise," the wealthy quickly check if there are mutant mice nearby. Listening to the bickering between the two behind them, a young woman wearing a mask with a bumpy figure stopped in front of her, a little unhappy, said. As the young woman stopped, suddenly, two thighs that could be called works of art were brought together tightly, instantly attracting the eyes of the two young people behind. "Okay, Captain." Fugui secretly swallowed, trying to withdraw his gaze from the opponent's thigh. Then, he took out two pieces of metallic luster and tapped it, and suddenly, a soft sound slammed open. Although the short stature Fugui was mediocre in combat effectiveness, has a very good magic talent, sonic perception. It's somewhat similar to the feeling of bat ultrasound. With this magical talent, wealthy people can use sound waves to search for targets, especially in sewers, which are invisible and relatively closed. Sound wave detection is definitely effective. There are mutant mice over there, and there are a lot of them. After listening carefully for a moment, Fugui pointed to the front and said, "Go." Determined the goal, and the three of them quickly rushed towards the destination. What a big mouse, this mutation is too much. Under the guidance of fortune, the three people quickly arrived at their destination. Looking at the more than 10 mice the size of a calf in front of them, the three also felt a little scalp tight. Because some unruly pharmacists and alchemists often throw waste into the sewers, various mutant rats and cockroaches will appear in the sewer from time to time. However, these mutant rats and cockroaches are not a threat. At most, if there are too many mutant rats and cockroaches to block the sewers, the Magic Union will send a task to let people deal with it. This outbreak of mutant mice coincided with the graduation season of the college. Therefore, the Magic Union gave the task of cleaning the mutant rats to the college. This can alleviate the stress of the college tasks during the graduation season and also get a wave of free labor. Moreover, the mutant rats in the sewers are not very threatening, and the safety of the trainees is also high. Is just the current situation, which is not in line with the facts. A rat the size of a calf, this is definitely a record-breaking. Wu Yu, the situation is a bit bad. Jiaming Liang held a fireball in his hand, and with the light of the flame, the calf-sized mice looked particularly ferocious. Fireball, this is Jiaming Liang's magic talent. There are passive and skill types for magic talents. The passive type has a wide range of increase. For example, the power talent can increase all power skills, while the skill type is a single increase in this skill. For example, Jiaming Liang's fireball skill, because it is a magic talent, Jiaming Liang does not need to chant to cast fireball, and the magic power required to cast the spell is much smaller than other wizards, so small that Jiaming Liang can use fireball as a torch. At the same time, using fireball as a torch also proved Jiaming Liang's superb control over fireball. In addition, the future fire spells derived from Jiaming Liang with fireball as the core, such as big fireball, bursting fireball, pyrotechnics, or continuous fireball, meteor fire, etc., will also be blessed by magical talents. I'll try it out. Wu Yu hesitated and said. This task is related to the graduation points of several people. Therefore, if there is no need for Wu Yu, she does not want to give up. Only after successfully graduating from the academy can she go to the Central Academy of Magic. As he said, Wu Yu came to a mutant giant mouse with a few jumps. Then, the magic power in Wu Yu's body was activated, and the talent of wind element affinity was stimulated, and the surrounding wind elements were attracted by Wu Yu and surrounded by around Wu Yu. The addition of the wind element increased Wu Yu's speed by a notch. Boom! Before the giant rat could react, Wu Yu lifted her slender thigh and kicked it directly, kicking the mutant giant rat away. That mutant giant mouse was kicked into the air by Wu Yu, indicating that the combat effectiveness of these mutant giant rats was not particularly great. In this case, the mission naturally continued. Fireball. While Wu Yu kicked the mutant giant mouse away, Jiaming Liang's fireball also whizzed out. Boom! A fist-sized fireball landed on a giant mouse, and the fireball exploded and swallowed the giant mouse instantly. Elemental spells were notoriously damaged, especially fire spells, which are among the best in the major elemental spells. Exist. A few minutes later, more than a dozen mutant giant rats have all been wiped out. Among them, Jiaming Liang killed 70% by himself. It is enough to see how fierce the output of the element mage is. Yu Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Wu Yu takes a few times to complete it. To kill a mutant giant rat, Jiaming Liang can fire a fireball. Of course, if Jiaming Liang and Wu Yu are singled out, Wu Yu can kill Jiaming Liang in minutes. While elemental wizards are mastering super damaging spells, their physical strength and speed will be much weaker, and they will face extremely fast. Jiaming Liang couldn't beat Wu Yu at all. Even, the reason why Jiaming Liang was able to kill 70% of the giant rats was because Wu Yu was creating an output environment for him. Otherwise, a dozen giant rats swarmed in, and Jiaming Liang had no other choice besides running. As for the sonic perception of wealth, he is a soy saucer in battle. The main task of wealth is to find the way and find mutant mice. In the battle, Wu Yu and Jiaming Liang are enough. Hey? What is this? After the battle, Fugui was responsible for cleaning up the battlefield. Later, at a sewage outlet, Fugui saw some fishy red debris, and there were many rat tooth marks on it. It was obvious that the mutant giant rats were gnawing these things. Could it be that these things caused the mutation? Wu Yu and Jiaming Liang also came over. Eliminating the mutant giant rat can only be regarded as an ordinary completion of the task, but if the cause of the mutation can be found, then this task can be raised by at least one level. When the time comes, the graduation points will be stable. Prosperity leads the way. Immediately, the three of them started looking for the source along the red debris. On the way, the three of them encountered several waves of mutant giant rats, and the size of this mutant giant mouse was getting bigger and bigger. Fortunately, because there were not many in number, three of them were too big. Can handle it. Arrive. The last three people stopped at a sewage well leading to the ground, and the red debris that caused the rat to mutate fell from here. No one outside. Fortune listened carefully, then raised his hand to push the manhole cover to the ground, and then a group of three quickly jumped out of the manhole cover. Coming out of the sewers filled with all kinds of weird tastes, Wu Yu took off the mask she was about to wear, revealing a beautiful appearance. Although Wu Yu's appearance is not stunning, it is also a top-notch, especially with the full marks. With the blessing of long legs, Wu Yu's comprehensive score is definitely not low. Hu took a deep breath of the fresh air outside, but soon Wu Yu frowned slightly, because Wu Yu smelled a faint smell of blood in the air. Someone is coming. Without waiting for Wu Yu to explore the source of the smell, he suddenly gave a soft drink. Hearing this, the three of them quickly hid in a corner, and after a while the two of them came over with a bag. As the two of them approached, the smell of blood in the air became richer. The two carrying the bags came to the manhole cover where the Wu Yu trio came up and stopped, and then one person opened the manhole cover. I said, let's throw the waste into the waterway. If we know about this, will we punish us? At this time, one of them said with a worried expression on his face. What are you afraid of? This is the last batch of waste materials. This batch will be closed after that. Then we can leave here. Another person expertly opened the bag, and then, a bag full of dark red debris was poured into it. Sewer. After emptying out the garbage, the two looked around vigilantly, and then left quickly. Seeing this, the Wu Yu trio followed closely, because the trio felt that there must be something big in it. Rich, have you sent a message to the academy? Jiaming Liang stared at the two figures in front of him and said. Send it, the academy will send someone there soon. Fugui nodded, and the debris that caused the rat to mutate was obviously not something ordinary people could make. It is very likely that there will be a formal mage in this matter. Although the Yu trio belonged to geniuses in the academy, the trio were still at the apprentice level of a mage. Although they were senior apprentices, they were still a little short of a formal mage. Official mage is the name of a mage who has successfully connected to the magic net. With the help of the magic net, the official mage can release powerful spells. This combat power is definitely not comparable to that of the apprentice master who has not connected to the magic net. Following the two people who took out the garbage, Wu Yu and the three came to a building, and a plaque was hung on the gate of the building. Yexiao Magic Hall. Magic Hall and Martial Arts Hall are actually a kind of thing. Compared with the Martial Arts Hall that specializes in teaching melee skills, the Magic Hall specializes in teaching magic knowledge. Young people, you are late. Yexiao Magic Hall is no longer accepting people. Just as Wu Yu and the three stared at that Yexiao Magic Hall, a passing master spoke. Hearing what the uncle said, the three of them hurriedly went up and asked. The uncle was obviously full of intelligence, and through the dialogue with the uncle, the three of them couldn't help but become excited, because there must be a problem with the magic museum this night. Beep. The magic card of wealth and honor sounded during the conversation, but the instructor of the academy rushed over after receiving the news. After listening to Wu Yu's report, Zhou Yuqiu frowned slightly. Obviously he also noticed something wrong. This magic hall has recruited several waves of students under the name of closed training in the last month. After that, those students have been their family members were completely disconnected, and the addition of the red crumbs made it easy to think of certain taboos. Yes, you guys did a great job. Although the problem of this magic hall may be tricky, the performance of the three Wu's is also worthy of recognition, especially that the three of them did not venture into the magic hall, which is quite correct, because Zhou Yuqiu has discovered that there are decorations nearby many warning magic circles. According to the level of the warning magic circle, Zhou Yuqiu felt that he might not be able to deal with it alone. Besides, as the instructor of the academy, he had no right to search private sites. Let the people of the Union take care of it. Zhou Yuqiu picked up the magic card. In this era of magic, the power of the Magic Union is absolutely second to none. If the highest authority in the Eastern continent is the Magic Academy, then the Mage Union is the Magic. The Guidance Institute manages the hands and feet of the East continent. The instructor of Zhou Yuqiu Academy and his status as an official mage made the Magic Guild attach great importance to it. After receiving information from Zhou Yuqiu, the Magic Guild immediately sent a team of wizards to encircle the Yexiao Magic Hall. What happened? The people in the Night Owl Magic Hall were naturally aware of the movement outside, and the owner of the Magic Hall was very anxious, because he knew very well that if the things here were discovered by the Union, then he would die without being buried. Of the land. After all, it is a taboo to draw blood from others to condense blood crystals, but in the face of the strength that has been unable to grow, he ultimately failed to resist the temptation to become stronger. This extreme method was adopted, but he did a lot before doing it. It's reasonable to say that it won't be discovered. This so-called Night Owl Magic Hall is an unregistered fake, and he is not the owner of the Magic Hall, but there happens to be a small magic net node here, so he rented this yard and made a fake. The Magic Hall, and later recruited a group of children under the name of the Magic Hall to implement his plan. Moreover, he also completed the condensing work smoothly. UU reading www.yunsha.com is now ready to retreat, but at this last moment, he was discovered. As for how he was discovered, he couldn't figure it out without thinking and meditation. After all, he had calculated all the plans to perfection, but unfortunately he didn't know that the loophole came from the sewer. Of course, even if he knew it now, he didn't have the time to pay attention, because now the most important thing is how to escape. Boom! The fictitious owner of the Night Owl Magic Mansion was just thinking about how to retreat. At this time, the door was kicked open. Then, the captain of Zhou Yuqiu and the Union Wizard team appeared. Although the fictitious owner is an official mage, he can still travel to the country and the wizard. The captain is also an official mage, even if the level is a little lower than him. The Punun fake museum owner cannot immediately defeat the two. If you can't kill the two as soon as possible, then the Union's follow-up support will come, then you really won't be able to run. You actually refined blood crystals. Zhou Yuqiu and Captain Mage rushed into the magic hall and saw the blood-stained magic circle and the smell of blood on the ground. They couldn't help being furious. Although they had already guessed before, when they really saw the tragedy here, they still let them go. People are furious. Boom boom boom. The three official mages fought each other, and the Night Xiao's magic hall was turned into ruins in an instant, and several figures suddenly appeared in the ruins, and then fleeing in all directions. These people were the apprentices of the false museum owner. He was an accomplice in this taboo incident. Grab them, and kill them on the spot without surrendering. Seeing that they had slipped through the net, the wizard captain said to the players outside. Hearing the words, the members of the mage team outside quickly chased after them. Seeing this, Wu Yu and the three also rushed out. This is a good opportunity to earn credit. The official mage can't beat them. Those apprentices should have no problem. 50,000 yuan is gone. Wu Xing held 3 small bottles, his face was full of heartache, and each of these 3 small bottles was worth 398,000 power potions. However, this is only the lowest level, and it is also used by ordinary people. An increase of 10% of the power is already the effect of this medicine to its limit. But for a martial artist whose strength is not as good as that of ordinary people, the effect of this potion is definitely more than 10%. After all, the strength of the martial artist is too low. Open the bottle cap. Wu Yuxing directly drank the potion. Although the price of this thing is high and the potency is low, the safety is not said. Just drink it directly, without any additional preparation. After taking the medicine down, Wu Xing immediately felt that a power was emerging in his body. After drinking the power medicine according to the clerk's introduction, the power would have a short period of substantial growth, and then the power would slowly weaken. As it weakened to the degree will be determined by the difference of the individual. For an easy-to-understand example, if the strength is 5 before drinking the potion, the strength directly increases to 10 after drinking the potion, and then the strength starts to weaken and stops at 6, then this bottle of potion brings one to the user the power of growth. The increase in strength made Wu Xing feel that his body was lighter. As for the other 2 bottles of potions in his hand, they were healing potions, and a bottle of 5,000 yuan was not cheap. I bought this for Wu Yuxing to prevent possible physical damage when practicing skills. Put the 2 bottles of recovery potions away, Wu Xing took a light pace to go home, but when Wu Xing came to the main road, there was a riot in front of him, and then the crowd began to rush towards Wu Xing. This big sister, what happened? Seeing a woman who fell down because of panic, Wu Xing walked over and lifted her up and asked. Someone was violent in the street, and several people have been injured. The woman hurriedly said. While speaking, a fierce figure rushed over. I go. Looking at the murderous man, Wu Xing panicked, especially when he saw the dazzling dagger in his opponent's hand. Wu Xing's body stiffened, because a Wu Xing with no combat experience would never know what to do. How to deal with this situation now? What? At this time, the scream of the woman next to Wu Xing made Wu Xing regain his senses. Stop! Although he was panicking to death, Wu Xing bit his head and shouted. After all, as a man, he couldn't watch a weak woman next to him being attacked by a wicked man. However, as soon as Wu Xing's words fell, he was surprised to find that the other party's target was not the woman next to him, but him. After all, in the eyes of the man, this thin boy is obviously much easier to control than the plump woman. In the current situation, the man knows that it is too difficult to escape, so he needs a hostage. Little stars. The Wu Yu trio, who followed the man from the Yexiao Magic Museum, were shocked when they saw that the man was rushing towards a young man, especially when Wu Yu saw that this young man was his only brother. General Wu Yu, all the magic in the body exploded and rushed over like crazy. It's just that, with the chaotic crowd on the road and the distance factor, it is almost impossible for Wu Yu to come to Wu Xing before the man. What do you mean, do I look weaker than a woman? The man's actions caused the originally flustered martial star to explode his hair. Immediately, the angry martial star raised his leg directly when facing the rapidly approaching man. The front kick skills that are already familiar to the heart are displayed in an instant. What? Martial star's attack shocked the man who approached, because the attack by the thin young man before him made him feel like there is nowhere to hide. Go to death for me. Feeling unable to avoid martial star's attack, the man fiercely stabbed the short sword in his hand towards martial star. Boom! The martial artist's forward kick hit the man first. At this moment, the martial artist who was at the peak of the power potion's efficacy has no doubt about his power. Although facing this spell apprentice is still insufficient, the increase in the skill of the forward kick is the same. After making up for this last shortcoming, he kicked the man's forward throwing figure directly. Ha 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 ha, how powerful I am, it turned out to be all fancy. The man who was kicked by the martial star felt the strength of martial star's attack, and he was overjoyed. Just now Martial Star's attack made people unable to avoid the evasive attack made him think that this thin boy in front of him was such an awesome character. It turned out to be a display of fancy. Upper punch. However, as soon as the man's voice fell, Wu Xing's fist hit the opponent's chin. Compared to the chest and abdomen, the chin was obviously much weaker. Therefore, after Wu Xing's punch passed, he immediately heard the sound of bone fragmentation. Hiss! The man with the injured chin let out a vague low growl, and rushed to Wu Xing again. At this moment, the effect of the power medicine in Wu Xing began to decline, and the continuous use of front kicks and uppercuts also made Wu Xing consume a lot of money. Physical strength, therefore, it is very difficult for martial stars to continue to fight back in a short period of time. However, Wu Xing was no longer worried at this moment, because at this moment a thigh full of perfect curves suddenly appeared, and Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com directly kicked the man out. But Wu Yu arrived. As a senior mage apprentice, Wu Yu's combat effectiveness is naturally the man who crushed the intermediate mage apprentice. Soon the man was beaten into a pig, making the members of the mage team that follow him look terrifying. This has great strengths. The beautiful women with legs are so violent. Satsuki, you are so violent, you will not be able to marry in the future. Looking at the awe-inspiring gazes of those members of the wizard, Wu Xing couldn't help but said, "It hurts, it hurts." As soon as Wu Xing's voice fell, Wu Yu's ears caught her ears. "Little Xing, you are getting bolder and stronger. You know how to pretend to be a man. You don't know how many numbers you have. Make sure Wu Xing is not injured." Wu Yu broke out directly, and grabbing Wu Xing's ear was a reprimand. However, after Wu Yuejiang finished venting the qi in her heart, she hugged Wu Xing tightly again. When she saw that Wu Xing was in danger, Wu Yu was filled with despair at the time, except for the father who didn't know his life or death. Wu Xing is her only relative. "Okay, I'm okay." Wu Xing comforted as he felt Wu Yu's trembling body. "It's okay? It's too late when something happens." Wu Yu glared at Wu Xing fiercely. "Also, Xiaoyu is also called by you, do you want sister to know?" "Little Xing. Xiaoyu, don't call me Little Xing." Wu Xing's brow jumped when she heard Xiaoxing's name. Wu Xing was very resistant to this name. Therefore, in order to avenge Wu Xing, she also called Wu Yu by Xiaoyu. After all, although Wu Yu is his sister, Wu Xing, who has been a human for 2 generations, has a much older psychological age than Wu Yu. In Wu Xing's eyes, Wu Yu is more like a younger sister. If it weren't for Wu Yu who couldn't beat him now, Wu Xing would even want to rebel and let Wu Yu call him his brother. Magic Guild. Several high-level union leaders gathered in the conference room to discuss the incident in the Night Owl Magic Hall. Although all the murderers have been taken down, the follow-up impact of this incident is not small, especially since it exposed the management of the union. A loophole in the above. Has the identity of that person been found out? A man sitting in the position of vice-chairman spoke first. As soon as the voice fell, the former leader of the wizard team quickly got up and said, "Yes, the vice-chairman, this person is a member of the Mogu organization. It's this magical organization again." Hearing the term Mogu organization, everyone present felt a little headache. If Monet is compared to the internet, then this Mogu organization is like a hacker. They specialize in finding vulnerabilities in Monet to gain profits. Of course, the operation of the magic net is extremely mysterious. It is as difficult to find the loopholes of the magic net itself. Those magic users who cannot find the loopholes actively create loopholes. However, doing so will cause a lot of disasters, which also makes the magic users' organization it has become an organization that everyone shouts and beats. Continue to review and see if you can dig out something from the other party. With this sentence, the thing about the members of the Mogu organization came to an end temporarily. After all, the people of the Mogu organization who were arrested are not strong enough, and it is estimated that they will not. Who are the core members? I don't know many secrets. Therefore, the trade union can only do whatever it takes. Compared with the management loopholes exposed through this incident, this is the main purpose of the discussion. I think we should strengthen the management of the martial arts and magic halls in the city, and can't continue to let it go. The old man sitting on the main seat said. The reason why the Night Owl Magic Hall was able to succeed this time was because of the cover of the title of the Magic Hall. At present, the management of the Martial Arts Hall and the Magic Hall has always been very lax. Basically, you only need to fill in the website of the Magic Union. Only one profile can register successfully, which gives the other party a chance to take advantage of it. Therefore, the Magic Union decided to sort out the martial arts halls and magic halls in the city, and banned all those that did not comply with the regulations, and issued special signs in compliance with the regulations. Make trouble with the name, destroy the credibility of the martial arts hall and the magic hall. It's just that this is true, but how to implement it makes everyone present feel a bit tricky, because after so many years, the city has a lot of martial arts and magic halls, and it takes a lot of manpower and material resources to fix it. I think that instead of sorting out, it's better to let the martial arts halls and magic halls sort out by themselves. The man sitting in the position of the vice president turned his mind and said, "Oh, tell me carefully." Hearing this, the face of the old man in the main seat couldn't help showing a look of interest. We can send a notice to tell the martial arts halls and magic halls in the city about the review, and let them challenge the 3 martial arts or magic halls to qualify. At that time, we can directly reduce the number of targets by 3. At the same time, it can also eliminate some 2 weak martial arts halls and magic halls. The man in the position of vice chairman said his thoughts. And his words have been recognized by everyone. This is indeed a time-saving and labor-saving method. After all, some martial arts halls are just empty shells, and the location is not known at all. But once this method came out, those martial arts halls were in order to be able to stay. After coming down, we will definitely find all the martial arts halls hidden in the corner of the corner. Then you will be responsible for this matter. The old man in the main seat nodded, and then handed the matter to the man in the vice president position. The problem was solved, and the atmosphere in the conference room was relaxed a lot. Thanks to a few students from the Magic Academy this time, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. I think I should commend it. A senior trade union used this to relax atmosphere, said. Yes, you should be rewarded for merit. Soon this proposal was approved by everyone, and finally, the meeting ended in a relaxed atmosphere. As for Wu Yu and others' rewards, they will be issued by the Academy. Everyone left, but Hu Fu, the vice chairman, did not leave, because he had to make a summary of the incident and then report it to the headquarters. The union here is just a branch of the Magic Union in each city, and the headquarters has long been ordered, as long as the news involving the Magic Group is reported. What? During the process of sorting out the information, Hu Fu found a very interesting magical image. This magical image came from the surveillance array on the street. Because the people escaping from the Yexiao Magic Hall were recorded, this image also was sent over. Of course, it was not the escaped person in the video that surprised Hu Fu, but a thin boy in it, especially the kick and punch when the boy faced danger. Although, the magic video was not fully included. How this young man specifically attacked, but with such a thin body with just one kick and a punch, blocking a mage apprentice is absolutely extraordinary. After watching the video several times carefully, Hu Fu put it down and said, "It's a good seedling, I don't know whose child it is. Go and investigate the history of this little guy." Hu Fu said to the assistant beside him. "Yes. Hidden the key to the dark power, show your true power in front of me, and make an agreement with you, Xiao Lei, to order you, the seal is lifted." As soon as Wu Xing and Wu Yu got home, they heard Lu Lei's little Lolita yelling, and Wu Yu looked nervous about this. After all, this is the age of magic. However, the martial artist who knew the reason for this seemed very natural. Before leaving, the martial artist lost a card girl Sakura to little Loli. At this moment, the little Loli is learning the lines of the protagonist. Sister Xiaoyu, brother Wuxing, was facing Lu Lei, who was dancing in the cartoon playing in the living room, and saw the two Wuxing appearing, and then ran over excitedly. Sister Xiaoyu, they have decided to become a magical girl in the future, Lu Lei said with a look of excitement. Before that, Lori's dream was to become a powerful melee mage like Wu Yu. However, after seeing the magic card girl cherry blossoms given by Wu Xing, Lori's dream followed change. Xiao Lei, it's getting late, go home quickly, otherwise, your mother will be worried, Wu Xing said to Lu Lei, who was not going to go home after watching the whole cartoon. Brother Wuxing, can someone come and see it tomorrow? As her mother's call came from a distance, little Lolita finally retracted her gaze from the magical image reluctantly. Sure. Wu Xing nodded, and got the affirmative answer from Wu Xing, and then the little Lolita left with joy. Little Xing, are you hiding something from me? Little Lolita left, and Wu Yu grabbed Wu Xing with a serious expression. On the way back, Wu Yu, who had calmed down, found a lot of doubts. For example, when she rushed to Wu Xing, how did Wu Xing resist the attack of a mage apprentice? How much combat power does Wu Xing have? But the most clear. Regarding Wu Yu's question, Wu Xing was not surprised. Immediately, Wu Xing told Wu Yu about his recovery of the ancient hard disk data. As for the cultivation dojo, Wu Xing currently doesn't know what kind of existence this cultivation dojo is, so he didn't say anything about it. I see. After listening to Wu Xing's explanation, Wu Yu let out a long sigh of relief. She knew that Wu Xing played an ancient memory crystal. She was also worried just now whether Martial Star had used some taboo methods to gain power, and it didn't seem to be right now, but he had obtained powerful martial skills from the memory crystals that flowed down from ancient times. Xiaoyu, do you want to learn ancient skills? Originally, Wu Xing wanted to find Lu Lei Xiao Lolita to test whether the skills he obtained in the practice dojo could be passed on, but he was unsuccessful. Now Wu Xing is going to try Wu Yu. Is it okay? Wu Xing's words made Wu Yu very interested. After all, this is ancient martial arts, there is no magic in ancient times, but it is said that there are many martial arts. Of course. Wu Xing patted his chest and said. Originally, Wu Xing wanted to add a condition for Wu Yu to be called his elder brother, but considering that he couldn't beat Wu Yu now, Wu Xing gave up. Xiaoyu, now I teach you the easiest front kick, you try first. When they came to the lobby, under the sign of Xingyu Martial Arts Hall, the two began to practice their moves. And the front kick that Wu Xing gave Wu Yu was not the same as his, it was a female fighting skill. Little Xing, is this the simplest move you said? Wu Yu tried a few times in the way Wu Xing said. This has nothing to do with simplicity. Although this is just a simple forward kick, it among them, the control of strength and the mastery of leg muscles need to reach a very high level. Fortunately, Wu Yu majored in the leg technique and had a good foundation. Therefore, after several attempts, Wu Yu successfully performed the front kick. This kick made Wu Yu feel the extraordinary skill of this trick, although it was the first one. A successful display is not particularly proficient, but Wu Yu can clearly feel that this blow has exerted 100% of her power. In fact, a person's power can only exert 80%. This is all because of the self-protection of the body. However, the limitation of martial arts can be broken through. Ordinary martial arts can exert a person's power to 90%. As for those who can reach 100% are very good martial arts. Only top martial arts can surpass the limit and reach the level of 100% or more. At this moment, Wu Yu feels that the front kick taught to her by martial stars should be the kind of martial arts that can surpass the limit. After all, she is just unskilled. The first time she used her, she reached a 100% power burst, and when she was proficient with more than 100% power, there was absolutely no problem. Seeing Wu Yu successfully display the front kick skills, this also surprised Wu Xing, because it indicates that Wu Xing can teach others the skills in the practice dojo. Of course, compared to Wu Xing who can obtain training memories directly from the practice dojo, Wu Yu is an extra process of memorization and understanding. At the same time, Wu Xing can gain unlimited physical strength and longer time to perform skills in the practice dojo. Practice. However, Wu Yu also has an advantage that Wu Xing does not have, and that is talent. In addition, hard work is naturally an indispensable factor. After acquiring the front kick skills, Wu Yu began to practice all night. It was not until dawn that she slept for a while, and then she went to the academy. Because of the sudden incident yesterday, Wu Yu did not have time to return to the college to hand in the task, so she took Wu Xing home directly. Today Wu Yu needs to hand in the task, and the college sent a message to Wu Yu last night. He said that he would give them 3 commendations for discovering the Night Owl Magic Hall. I went to Wu Xing's room and glanced at Wu Xing's room and saw that Wu Xing was still asleep. Wu Yu couldn't help sighing inwardly. Although Wu Xing had acquired ancient martial arts, it's hard for him to become a strong man with such a lazy appearance. Then Wu Yu thought of something, and left with a dim expression. Because, Wu Yu remembered fiercely that Wu Xing had no magic talent at all. This destined Wu Xing could not become a strong man. I will protect the little star. Wu Yu secretly said. After preparing breakfast for Wu Xing and leaving a note, Wu Yu went to the academy. From Wu Yu's point of view, the martial star, who is sleeping, is in distress at the practice dojo at the moment. The events of yesterday made martial star more and more aware of the importance of having strength. The 3 skills of front kick, back kick and uppercut, Wu Xing has not yet been able to practice to the extreme. These 3 skills still have room for improvement, but Wu Xing feels that he still needs a skill at the bottom of the box to use desperately at a critical moment. At this moment, Wu Xing is distressed that he should choose which skill to press the bottom of the box, because, except for the chi skills and a few more special skills on the skill list, there are no restrictions on other skills. It stands to reason that you need to prepare the skills to press the bottom of the box with one hand. Strong skills should be chosen. For example, powerful skills such as lightning dance, flash kick, and rock breaking sky. However, Wu Xing felt that even if he had learned these skills and used them in the training dojo after hard training, would he dare to use them outside? With martial star's current physical condition, it is estimated that his body will collapse before he can use these high-level skills. Forget it, let's learn steel and iron bones first and strengthen your body. After giving up to comprehend those high-level skills, Wu Xing turned his attention to a skill on the skill list, steel and iron bones. This is a skill that strengthens the body. For the Wu Xing who is very weak at the moment, this skill is definitely the most suitable. But there is a reason why Wu Xing didn't choose it just now, because this steel and iron skill. It can't be achieved through practice. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. If you want to train into this steel reinforced iron bone, you need a lot of medicine to assist you during the period. With the help of the special training method of adding steel reinforced iron bone, you can quickly strengthen Wu Xing's body. Do you want to practice steel and iron bones? Yes. Click the icon of steel and iron bones, and a dialog box popped up. Wu Xing did not hesitate to choose OK. After that, the training method about steel and iron bones appeared in Wu Xing's mind. So expensive. After learning about the materials needed for cultivating steel and iron bones, Wu Xing sighed in his heart. Moreover, this is only the material needed for getting started. After that, there will be the second and third stages. The materials needed for each stage will increase by 1 grade. With Wu Xing's current financial resources, it is obvious that he can't get the materials needed in a short time. You can only consider the data recovered from selling some hard drives. Without materials, steel and iron bones can actually be cultivated. However, this effect is very poor, but it is also better than ordinary exercise. As a daily intensive exercise, it is also very good. The premise is that this practice should be performed outside the practice dojo. Performing it in the practice dojo will only increase the proficiency, but will not have any effect on the body. Reading this, Wu Xing withdrew from the training hall and walked out of the room. Hearing the shouts from the Whirlwind Martial Arts Hall next door, there was no fluctuation in Wu Xing's heart. Now the training in the martial arts hall next door can no longer attract martial stars. Came to the living room and looked at the breakfast on the table. Wu Xing sat down and opened the magic video while eating breakfast. Then a message attracted Wu Xing's attention. In this station's news, Hu Fu, the vice president of the Magic Trade Union, announced earlier today that all martial arts and magic halls in the city will be reviewed and registered. For details, please refer to the information sent by the reporter ahead. As soon as the news about the review and registration of the martial arts hall and the magic hall came out, it caused a huge commotion. The relevant personnel immediately realized that this would be a major reshuffle of the martial arts hall and the magic hall. More than 60% of the martial arts halls will be sealed. There are fewer martial arts halls, so the surviving martial arts halls can eat more. Of course, the premise is to survive this elimination. Ha ha ha, God helps me too. Duan Meng, the owner of the Tornado Martial Arts Museum next door, was overjoyed after seeing this news. The Tornado Martial Arts Museum was established not long ago. The current scale depends on Duan Meng's superior strength, but because of the short establishment time, in terms of reputation and background, the Tornado Martial Arts Hall is much weaker than other martial arts halls of the same level in the East District. According to the normal process, it will take at least 5 years for the Whirlwind Martial Arts Museum to become the leader of the Shidong District, but now the decision of the Magic Guild gives Duan Meng hope. As long as his Duan Meng can pick all the 3 strongest martial arts gyms in the Eastern District, then the Tornado Martial Arts Hall will be the strongest martial arts gym in the Eastern District. At that time, the Tornado Martial Arts Gym will not have to worry about insufficient students and even increase tuition. And are making some selections. Of course, this is a road full of hardships. After all, the strength of the other martial arts pavilions in the East District is not weak. If this challenge fails, Duan Meng's Tornado Martial Arts Pavilion will also become history. You can challenge 3 weak points. Duan Meng wanted to keep his martial arts hall. Only the weak will challenge those weak martial arts gyms to keep their places. Duan Meng's quest is to become the top martial arts gym in the Eastern District and even the entire city. This is no way to survive. Looking at the news broadcast on the magic light curtain, Wu Xing couldn't help sighing, because Xingyu Martial Arts Hall belonged to that kind of weak and eliminated ranks. Actually, it didn't feel like the martial arts hall sign was taken off. But Wu Yu was different. This martial arts hall has always been the insistence in her heart. This is the only thing left by their father. Therefore, Wu Yu will definitely do his best to keep the martial arts hall. Brother Wu Xing. The news is still going on. At this time, the little lowly Lu Lei hurried in, and then looked at Wu Xing with expectant eyes. It was obvious that the little lowly wanted to finish watching the cartoon that she didn't watch yesterday. Look at home. Handed the memory spar containing the Cardinal Girl Sakura cartoon to little lowly, and Wu Xing began his steel and iron training. Fug. Wu Xing practiced steel and iron bones, and suddenly, there were a few blasts on his body. Afterwards, Wu Xing felt a sore body, but Wu Xing was very happy about this, because it means that the effect of steel and iron bones is very good. The potion of power drunk before going to Martial Star. The power of Wu Xing is now very close to that of ordinary people. The oppression on the soul is still there, but Wu Xing also has a solution. It is estimated that he can completely eliminate the oppression on the soul if he only needs to find the Dragon King Baker a few times. The soreness of the body is obviously not suitable for continuing to practice. Therefore, Wu Xing is going to take a rest. However, this rest is just a rest for the body. Naturally, the practice cannot be stopped. It is just that this practice has been replaced by the practice in the practice dojo. Entering the training dojo, Wu Xing clicked on the monster list to see if the Dragon King Baker could summon. Unfortunately, the list of Dragon King and other high-level monsters are all grayed out. Only the sandbag and a mechanical goblin can be summoned. Mechanical goblin. Seeing the new monsters on the monster list except sandbags, Wu Xing was delighted. The sandbags that have been unable to move are indeed a bit tired. Now that an active goblin has come, it naturally makes Wu Xing very happy. Click, summon. Suddenly, a goblin wearing orange-yellow mechanical armor appeared in front of Wu Xing. The same mechanical goblin also had health bars, but the health bars were much less than sandbags. Kick forward. Without hesitation, Wu Xing quickly stepped forward and kicked it directly. In the practice dojo, Wu Xing has unlimited physical strength and can release skills without any scruples. Boom! It's just that Wu Xing's confident blow was blocked, and kicking it on the mechanical goblin made Wu Xing feel like he was kicking on an iron block. The health bar on the mechanical goblin's head only dropped by 1. A little bit, on the contrary, it shook myself in pain. Compared to the sandbag that won't fight back without defense, although this mechanical goblin has a health bar that is not as long as a sandbag, the mechanical armor on its body is not decorative. Kick back. A blow failed, Wu Xing swerved and launched an attack, but at this time the mechanical goblin also launched a counterattack. Boom! Martial Star's leg collided with the mechanical goblin's fist, Martial Star flew out directly, and then, Martial Star was kicked out of the training dojo. It was obvious that the strike Martial Star had died just now. So strong. Hangs up in the training dojo, there is no side effect to the martial arts, there is no hesitation that the martial arts enter the training dojo again, click to summon the mechanical goblins. About 10 seconds later, the martial star was kicked out again. Although the mechanical goblin is the weakest monster in the training dojo, it is still an unmatched existence for the current martial star. Continue. 1 minute later. Come again. 3 minutes later. I don't believe it anymore. 5 minutes later. Although it failed again and again, but every time the martial artist persisted, the time it took would increase. Although there is still a long way to go before defeating the mechanical goblins, the martial artist is confident at this moment. He would not panic the last time he was attacked like that. Because the martial artist, who has been killed by the mechanical goblins and many times, can already face the danger without changing his color. How about learning a new skill? After being abused by mechanical goblins for a long time, Wu Xing naturally felt a little depressed. Therefore, after entering the training dojo this time, he was not summoning mechanical goblins, but opened the skill list. Now the front of Wu Xing, the 3 skills of kicking, back kicking, and uppercut have at least been cultivated by him to an attack increase of 150%. The increase of this basic skill to this level is already extremely terrifying, and it is very difficult to continue to increase this difficulty. Big. Therefore, if you want to quickly improve your combat effectiveness, learning a new skill is definitely the most convenient way. As for which new skill to learn, Wu Xing had already had an idea when he was abused by the mechanical goblins. Do you want to practice Shunbu? Yes. As Wu Xing clicked OK in the pop-up dialog box, Shunbu's practice method was printed in Wu Xing's mind. The 3 skills currently mastered by Martial Star are all attack skills. In the battle with the mechanical goblins, Martial Star has deeply experienced the suffering of not having a defense or dodge skill. Therefore, Wu Xing chose Shunbu, a displacement skill that can both dodge attacks and create attack opportunities. However, this skill is currently not perfect for Wu Xing.